Welcome to the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast, a place for you to find the courage you need to take the first step and every step thereafter to create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. I'm your host, health and life coach, Abby Hegney. Let's dive in. Welcome back. You are listening to episode 22 of the Quiet Your Inner Mean Girl podcast. And today we are going to talk about now mentality. Now mentality is the impatience you feel when you have a goal that you so badly want to reach that you want it now. When you think that it should be happening faster, that you should be further along. Have you ever said these things to yourself? I think it's pretty safe to say that most of us at some point in time have. And when you master being able to identify when you are in a now mentality and you learn to quiet your inner mean girl and bring yourself back to calm, to patience, to the progress that you're making, it will make a profound impact on your journey. You'll keep yourself on your path at your pace. You'll keep your feet and your face pointed in the direction of your goals. You'll keep yourself moving forward, and you'll end up moving yourself closer to where you want to be faster and simpler than you ever thought possible. And I want to start out by saying that a now mentality is 1,000% normal. Like I said, most of us have said these things to ourselves. When you are in a now mentality, it means that you have a goal that you care deeply about. You have a strong desire to create change in your life, to develop habits that you know will make you feel so much better, to feel more comfortable in your own skin, more confident in your own decisions. Maybe it's to feel less stressed and more balanced, or to feel like you are actually living your life instead of just going through the motions, checking the boxes, just trying to keep up. When you have a strong desire for change, you can see what is on the other side, and you want that change now. Wanting to be there now is normal, but it's also the thing that slows you down. Believing your inner mean girl when she tells you that you should be further along, that it should be happening faster, doesn't feel good. If you are constantly telling yourself that you're behind, you'll always have a lingering belief that you can't catch up. It's why you get so frustrated. It's why you feel disappointed, or why you get discouraged and feel defeated as you're going towards your goals. It's why you compare yourself to others and you think that they can do it, that it's easy for them, but that you can't do it. It's hard for you. It's why you tell yourself that nothing is working. When you believe that you should be there now, what you are really doing is arguing with yourself about where you are right now. You're telling yourself that you're wrong for being where you are, that something has gone wrong, that somewhere along the way you messed up, you missed the boat. This just perpetuates the negative feelings that come with a now mentality. When we go after our goals from a place of believing that we should be further along, that it should be happening faster, when we feel frustrated and disappointed and discouraged, there are only ever two outcomes. You either give up right away because it feels too hard, because you believe it's not working, that you can't do it, or you try to use those negative feelings and the desire to be further along as motivation and you push through it. And maybe you do for a while. Maybe pushing through and gaining that willpower works for a short period of time, but eventually it feels too hard and you give up. Or what I see most often from the women that I work with is that they have used these negative feelings as like the kick in the butt that they needed to actually get themselves into action. And then from that place, they take an extreme action to move themselves closer to where they want to be faster. They place heavy restrictions on themselves and they tell themselves that they have to do this long laundry list of things in order to move themselves along. Things that actually don't work for them, things that they have tried in the past that they haven't been able to sustain, things that they don't actually want to be a part of their journey or a part of their lives, but they think that's the only way. And so that's the approach that they take. And eventually they give up. Even if they hit their goal, they slide back to where they were because they didn't do it in a way that was sustainable for them. They forced themselves out of their journey, out of the path and the pace that was right for them. And in either case, they take themselves out of the game because no matter what you do or how much progress you make, that story that you should be further along, that it should be happening faster, stays with you. We think that being hard on ourselves is the solution, but it never is. If you argue with the reality of where you are right now, if you try to resist it, you will lose 100% of the time. And I know your goals are too important for you to be in a losing battle with them. It's why you want them now. You see the impact that they will have on your entire life. You see that when you feel more confident in your own skin, you'll stop obsessing about food and the scale and what you look like. You'll be more present with your kids. You'll laugh and have fun with them. You'll cherish the small moments when they call out, "Mommy, watch me," instead of feeling bothered by it because you're so stressed about what you need to do to feel better about yourself. You see that when you feel more confident, your relationship with your partner gets better. You can have an open conversation without being frustrated by the fact that you should be further along. You can see that you will actually go out on those date nights you've been talking about for so long because you're not afraid to be seen anymore. You can see that when you feel more confident in yourself, a night out with your friends actually fills your cup. And you wake up the next day feeling energized instead of feeling guilty and obsessing about how you're going to make up for that night out. These are just some of the examples of the impact that creating the habits and the confidence you want has on living the life that you want, the life you desire, the life you dream about, the life that you deserve. That's why I want to offer you a different solution, one that will help you to achieve your goals faster and easier than you ever thought possible. Not because it should be happening faster, but because once you let go of those negative thoughts and the negative feelings that stand in your way, that spiral you in confusion and doubt and overwhelm, and take up your precious time and energy, you show up differently. You take action from a more inspired place, a place of greater clarity. You keep yourself moving forward in a way that works for you, in a way that feels simple and easy and doable. And I'm calling this solution Compassionate curiosity, because that's really what it comes down to. When you find yourself in a now mentality, instead of going into your brain's default mode of judgment and criticism, I want you to explore having compassion for wanting it to happen quicker, for wishing that you were further along. What if you met those stories with compassion for, of course, they are there. Of course, you want this now. Of course, you wish you were further along. You wish you were already there. You want this so badly. Of course, those stories were there. And it's okay that you're not there yet because you know that you'll get there. You trust that you will get there. The only way that you won't get there is if you don't try, if you give up, if you let the now mentality drag you down. When you open yourself up to having compassion for wanting it now, you open yourself up to the awareness that it's also just the story that your inner mean girl is telling you. If she convinces you that you should be further along, that it should be happening faster, that pulls you back into self-doubt, into the comfort of where you are right now. When you gain awareness of these stories your inner mean girl tells you that frustrate, that disappoint, that discourage you, you will stop taking them personally. You'll stop telling yourself that you can't do it, that it's not working, that you'll never be able to do it. That doesn't mean that you have to love where you are right now. You probably don't because you so badly want to change. And that's okay. Just like it's okay to want to be further along. But what this does is allows you to accept it without judgment or criticism, without guilt or shame, without the negative emotions that will hold you back and make your journey harder than it needs to be. It ends the battle you've been in with reality. And when you really allow the awareness and the compassion to sink in, it empowers you. It gives you the opportunity to get curious, to be honest with yourself and explore, why am I not further along? Why is this not happening faster? It also allows yourself to get curious about what brought you to the spot where you are right now, the reality that you are resisting. What were you doing that led you here? What were you not doing? How have you been feeling? What has your inner mean girl been telling you? And this may feel hard to do, but it's the most powerful thing that you can do for yourself because it puts you in the driver's seat. It shows you how much control you actually have over creating change in your life. Most of us want to place blame on outside circumstances for why we haven't yet reached our goal. We believe it's the time we have, or our schedules, our work, our kids. But when you allow yourself to have compassion and to get curious, you start to see that it's more in control than you think it is. You start to see the small steps that you can take today that have a huge impact. You start to see where you gave up in the past, the things that you weren't doing or weren't valuing. You start to see where your inner mean girl was loud, where she was running the show. You start to see where you lacked belief in yourself or your goals, where maybe you gave up because you simply were avoiding feeling a negative emotion. It's an opportunity to learn about yourself, about your strengths, about the stories of your inner mean girl, where you've been criticizing and judging, where you've been comparing, where you've tried to muscle your way through with willpower, where you're thinking that you need to take extreme action that doesn't work for you, and where you give up. So much becomes available to you through compassionate curiosity. It becomes an opportunity to reframe now mentality from I want this now to what can I do now to move myself closer. This shift in the now mentality is such a powerful place to be. When you lead with this, you will always find the next step that is available to you. The next available step that's right in front of you. The step that feels doable today. Finding the next available, doable step is always the work that I do with my clients. At first, it feels hard because their thoughts are always, I should be doing more. Doing more will get me there faster. But doing more is not always the answer. In fact, it rarely is. Doing more isn't sustainable. If you think you always have to do more, you will always think you have to do more. And at some point, you don't have time to do any more. That's why we become so frustrated and overwhelmed. It's why it feels so hard. It's why we give up. You want to find what is sustainable for you. You want to find your path, your pace, and know that it is the fastest way to reach your goals. And the fastest way to do that is to quiet your inner mean girl. She is holding you back. She is making it harder. Every time your inner mean girl tells you that it should be happening faster, that you should be further along, it takes you away from what you really want. When you are stuck in now mentality, it's hard to remember what you really want. And it's even harder to see the progress that you are making, the confidence that you are building, the life that you are creating for yourself. When these stories that it should be happening faster, that you should be further along, when they creep in, you have to make a U-turn and bring yourself back to what you really want. Because every minute that you continue to believe that it should be happening faster, that you should be further along, is energy spent distracting you from your goals. It's fueling your inner mean girl. It's strengthening the belief that what you are doing is not good enough. And that is simply not true. How you feel about the progress you are making and the motivation you feel to continue is always a result of the now mentality you are choosing. You can wish that you were there now. You can think that you should be there now, or you can choose to think, what can I do now to move myself closer? That choice is always yours to make. And one of them will take you there faster and easier than ever before. So why not choose that path for yourself? All right. I hope this episode was super helpful to bring awareness to your now mentality, to the stories of your inner mean girl, how they are holding you back and slowing you down, and how to pull yourself out of it and find your path, your pace, and the fastest way to reach your goals. I will talk to you next week. If you are ready to quiet your inner mean girl, I invite you to join me inside Confident Mind and Body, my private coaching program, where you will learn to quiet your inner mean girl and create the habits, the confidence, and the life that you love. Just visit wellnesswithabbych.com and schedule a free consultation. Let's